Hey guys, welcome to Hurting Little Cows to the Glory of God. I don't even know how to start this video. Okay, so we are doing a challenge. I showed you what I bought for days 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I went to the store with $30 the first day and then was able to take that and transfer to the next day and buy another $30 worth of groceries. And so we are starting our first day challenge. It is a Monday morning in our house, which we have Monday mornings as kind of crazy at our house because we don't do a bunch of chores on Sunday so that we can just enjoy church. We can enjoy we always have a meal at church. We can enjoy anything else that's going on that day, and we catch up on chores on Monday. And so today is our catch up day. So we're doing the video over here because I gotta go clean off my counter. Mark has therapy in a little bit, so I have to get breakfast started. And we have guests coming for lunch. All that craziness going on. Hi, baby. There's a baby on the floor, too.
There's a baby on the floor.
So, hi, baby. What we are starting with breakfast, we have 2 loaves of store-bought bread.
What?
We have, I know,
Sorry.
Crazy. We have cheese and we have bananas. And we are going to make some, someone's mad.
Banana cheese sandwiches.
We're gonna have the bananas on the side. And we're gonna make these into like grilled cheese, but they're not gonna have any fat on the outside because we are doing as limited ingredients from our pantry as we can do. I do have butter in my pantry. I could do that, but just putting some cheese on these and warming them up in the middle is good. So we'll see you in just a little bit. Hey guys, so we made our breakfast and here's what we have is we just put cheese inside bread, threw it into the oven for 5 minutes, and that's what everyone has. I made 2 trays of them, so only 1 tray has come out so far. Everyone got a banana. So we grated the entire block of cheese, and it was kind of rounded over, and this is what we have left of cheese for another meal. I got 10 bananas. This is what's left for another meal. And then we got this much bread out of those 2. This was what was left with everyone getting a sandwich, so we might use this for something else. For lunch today, we have friends coming for lunch. And part of why you build up a pantry, if you want to see my pantry building videos, we'll try to link them down below. Part of why you build up a pantry is so that when you have last minute guests and everything, you don't have to go to the store and buy more things. So with the guests coming today, I'm going to use some of the rice that I bought, but I also have I had bought rice for another meal, but I also have rice in my pantry, and that's going to be added to the soup to help it spread for our friends that are coming. And our friends graciously said, what can we bring? So I told them to bring some bread to put on the side. And I now have this bread left that we can put on the side too. And so we'll have enough to feed everybody without having to add to our grocery total that we were doing today. And everyone's gonna have plenty of food. So total of this. I spent $1.42 on these 10 bananas. I spent $2 on the 2 loaves of bread, and I spent $4.22 on the cheese. So total for breakfast is $7.64. And as you see, I have some leftovers. So I spent less than $7.64 because I will add that to another meal. Right? Is that right? We will be back for lunch after our crazy morning. Say bye. 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 Okay, so I need to show you what we're doing for lunch, but you have to envision that I had a whole chicken that was about 7 pounds. Remember, I was gonna buy the chicken leg quarters. You can do the exact same thing I did with the chicken leg quarters, but I did it with whole chicken. So I put the whole chicken in my crock pot last night, cooked it overnight on low. This morning, I took off all the meat, I threw the bones in the pan, and I poured the drippings. I didn't add any water to my crock pot, so this was all the liquid that came off the chicken. So I put the drippings in a separate bowl. I put the bones in my Instant Pot only because we have guests coming and I need to make my broth faster. Normally I would just put the bones back into the crock pot. And then I'm adding my veggie scraps to make the broth. So this is the end of the celery that I won't be using for the soup, and these are the top ends of the celery. As you can see, I still have, you can use these leaves for soup. Those are fine. So I just cut off this end and this end. This is the rest of my celery. So for the meal today, it's gonna cost a total of like $12. I'll show you later, but I'm not gonna use every piece of everything. I'm just counting, like the entire chicken is being counted in this meal. The chicken that I use for the next meal will not be counted because it's part of this chicken that's already been counted the whole price. So a whole
we're
chicken.
feeding our family plus 4 adults.
Plus 4 adults. So the whole chicken, this head of celery is being used for the first time. This bag of carrots is being used for the first time, an onion, and this thing of garlic. Like I said, we're only gonna use 1 or 2 of these things of garlic, like cloves of garlic. This whole head is being counted for this meal. So I will show you what we have after, but what I'm gonna do is cut the ends off the carrots and throw them in the pot, add water, and turn this on for broth. So I needed to show you that step. Now Mark's gonna go do his thing. He just had to videotape that. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, so I put all the ends of the carrots, I cut them off and put the rest of the carrots back in here, but I used about 7 carrots for our soup. I took some of those leaves, pieces out of the celery and put those for our soup. This is what's left of the celery. I cut the skin off the onion and then used this much in the soup. I put 2 cloves of garlic in the broth, but I also put 2 cloves of garlic minced with our little mincer thing in the soup.
How do you say that? Mincer thingy?
Mincer thingy.
Mincer thingy.
Mincer thingy. Out of the chicken, I took maybe about half of it and cut it into small pieces. That's gonna go in the soup. This is what's left for chicken for other meals. And the drippings that you saw is what is cooking our vegetables at the moment. From our pantry, because I told you we have extra people coming today from our pantry, I'm going to use probably 2.5 cups of rice, and I'm going to use a can of corn, because normally we would have had frozen corn in the freezer that I bought on the pantry challenge, but we didn't plan today to have these people when I made this video, when I made the order. So I have a can of corn downstairs. So I'm gonna use the can of corn because it's a pantry ingredient that we're gonna use. Naomi is in the background. She is making a dessert for today with pantry ingredients. That's not counted as part of this challenge because we have guests and we like to, we save money in things like this so that we can use our pantry to bless other people when we have people over. That's when we have our more fancy meals, our bigger meals, all of that stuff. Also on these challenge, I'm not going to be putting snack. Usually we have breakfast, lunch, snack, and supper. Snack is not included in this. There's going to be plenty of food in these things, but I'm using snack time to perfect the fresh milled flour. If you've been seeing that we got a grain mill, I made bread the other day that came out really good. I actually liked it better as toast than I did the day that we cut it when it first got cooked.
Yes.
So I'm going to be using that time to make that instead of taking 5 days off of making the fresh milled flour for the challenge. So you'll see some other things, like I still have to make Gideon's video of his picked food. But I wanted to show you what I have. If you start looking at what you have and you start being really intentional about using the ends and making sure that you use every part of the food that you have bought, you'll find that you can save a lot of money by just being very intentional with what you have and not throwing out things. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to get a video of lunch. We'll see kind of when our guests show up and what times lunch gets done. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we never did a video for lunch because our friends came. And so what I ended up using from my pantry was 2 cups of rice, and I used 1 large can of corn, which would have been the equivalent of what we would have had for frozen corn. So they also brought bread, and so we took the bread, and they had brought butter. So we put bread and butter, and I used a little bit of garlic powder that I had, and a little bit of cheese that I had in my freezer, and we made like a garlic bread, and Naomi made a oatmeal cake that went with lunch. So we all had plenty of food.
Really?
And they brought desserts too. So if you are trying to save money, you can still have people over.
Just invite them to bring food.
Invite them to bring something, because most people are more than willing to bring something. And so I usually give people kind of a choice. Like today, the friends that were coming, I said, we're having soup. She said, what can I bring? And I said, could you bring some bread or crackers to go with the soup? So that way, if they didn't want to go shopping, they could bring something already had in the house. Sometimes I'll say, could you bring fruit to go on the side? Or could you bring some cut up vegetables or salad to go on the side? People are more than willing to bring something, and it helps everybody, and they like to do it. So anyway, tonight for supper, I took a little more of that onion, so I still have this much of the onion left, and I took some celery, so now I only have 2 stalks left, and I'm chopping this up. We're about to put them in a pan with some butter, which is a pantry staple. So we have a 4 tablespoons of butter. You could do oil of whatever kind. And I'm going to add some onion, and I'm going to add some celery, and we're going to let that cook up for just a little bit, and we will add flour. We will make a roux, and then we will add some broth. I'm not going to do the whole cooking. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm not going to do more of the cooking video. But we're going to cook this up a little bit, add flour, let that cook for a few minutes, and then we will add broth to make a very thick we want it to be kind of the consistency of like cream of chicken soup, like you get in a can. And we are going to cook rice in a pan and mix the homemade now cream of chicken soup in with chicken and rice in a pan. And then we're going to cook green beans on the side, just a can of green beans. So we'll show you when we get back to supper. But here's what we got. Here's what we have left from this meal. So far, this meal, none of it is anything that hasn't been accounted for yet. What's not accounted for is going to be the rice and the green beans, and I will tell you the total cost at the end. Okay. So I've got pepper in my throat. Okay, so we're sitting down for dinner. So for dinner, I started explaining what happened before, but we have this gravy-ish stuff. It has onions and celery and chicken. We used 4 tablespoons of butter from the fridge, and we used 4 tablespoons of flour from the pantry. And then we added the broth and cooked it down. We added some chicken. So I will show you after we're done eating, I will show you all that I have left from today. But lunch today.
He's making that face, Mama.
What you doing?
Being adorable.
Lunch today cost a total of $12.51. And this supper, because I'm using like the chicken we had at lunch and everything, it's already been counted for. The total of what I added to supper was $4.09. So that's how you're going to build up your pantry. And I'll explain more in a little bit, but I'm going to enjoy my meal. And this silly little baby next to me. Hey, can you smile? He's like, I'm so cute. He's not going to do it
whether I smile or not. I'm so cute.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so here's a wrap-up of our day. Out of the course of our day, we spent, of that $30 that I was going to take to the store, I went to the store and spent $24.24. Here's my math. So every,
Did you do it right?
I think so.
Good math.
Okay,
Mama.
so like the chicken was used in our lunch today, in our supper tonight, and I still have this much chicken left. When I use this chicken in another recipe, it will not be counted. It will not be counted. Daddy's snacks are not on this challenge. This chicken will not be counted again because it's already been accounted for in today's math. So out of what we have left from today, I have this much chicken. We have this much of a 1 pound block of cheese. We have this much bread from our breakfast this morning. 1 banana that's already been accounted for. Probably 2/3 of the bag of carrots. And by the way, I got the organic carrots because the 1 pound bag of regular carrots or the 2 pound bag of organic carrots, it was cheaper to get the 2 pound bag of organic than 2 1 pound bags. I've got 2 things of celery left, and I've got that much broth. Oh, wait, I have more. Go talk to the camera. Someone, go talk to the camera. They're gonna see my messy kitchen if you come over here. Where's my onion?
Look, the dishes are like done.
I've got,
They wash the dishes, they clean it up, they don't.
I also have an onion, this much of an onion. And
the garlic.
yeah, but I don't think that's. I have garlic, but I don't think this was my clove of garlic.
Oh.
Okay, so. I'm gonna make this my clove of garlic, which actually has less than the other clove of garlic. I have 2 cloves of garlic going because I am actually taking garlic as medicine right now. So I had a second clove somewhere. They're looking for it now. They're on the search for my clove of garlic.
I thought the little things were the cloves and that's a head.
Oh, sorry, my other head of garlic. Whatever it is.
Bulb. Blood.
Whatever it is.
The
There
blood.
was a second one. There are
I'm gonna
2
go
of them
with
around the
blood
house,
from
unless
now
one
on.
threw it out. I'm going to put this with my food because we have garlic still. I just gotta find the other one. But that's, so I still have more food. See? I'm trying to account for the food that I have. But we're spending $24.24 on our food today, plus having guests over. And tonight for supper, my mom ate too. So that was an extra person. So I think we did pretty good. Also, the butter and flour, if you had the butter and flour in your pantry, or the oil and flour that we already accounted for, you used less than $1 worth of that stuff That's why you build a good pantry. You also build a good pantry so that you can have guests over, because God blessed us with friends to be able to fellowship with today. And I didn't want to tell them, no, you can't come over because we're doing a challenge and I can't feed you. That's why you build a pantry, so that you have things to be able to share with your guests. They're still over there looking for the garlic. And what was I gonna say? I now have food for tomorrow. So come back if you have guesses on what day 2 was. If you look at that first video of what we bought and then what we're doing for day 2, try to make some guesses on what we might be eating tomorrow. So we'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows, the glory of God. Bye.